Tue Hotu, and good morning, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Welcome to MSBS eMeditation Retreat by Phra Goh. For new followers, MSBS stands for Maha Satipatthana Buddhist Society, situated in Klang, Selangor. The co-organizer is Mudita Buddhist Society. Today is the second day of the retreat. We'll go through a few housekeeping rules before we start. Please display your name for easy identification. Make sure your audio is muted at all times. If you wish to ask a question, you may type your question at the chat box, or to ask verbally, you may raise hand, and the moderator will inform you when it's your turn to unmute and talk. Please remember to turn off your microphone after asking, and one person to speak at any one time. Here's the list of today's events. There will be 2 group sitting and 1 Dhamma talk in the afternoon at 1:30. For each session, the room will open 15 minutes prior to the event. During these rest periods or self-practice period, there won't be any Zoom session. Now, we are very grateful to have with us Bhante Adhibalo, popularly known as Phra Goh. And next month is Bhante's birthday. Bhante had his Bhikkhu ordination into the Theravada tradition of Thai Dhamma sect at Santi Force Ministry, Johor in 2008, and spent his first 5 rains retreats at Aries Force Ministry in Malaysia and in Thailand. He is currently the religious advisor to Buddhist Youth Network Singapore and has been conducting MSBS weekly Tuesday Guided Meditation since July 2020. Bhante will be leading the homage to the Buddha and taking of 5 precepts for Buddhists. Now let us compose our minds, put our palms together, and welcome Bhante. Over to Bhante.
Okay, thank you, Terence. We shall begin in the intro homage. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. 3 refuges. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tutiyampi Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. And the 5 precepts. Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapada Samadhiyami. Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapada Samadhiyami. Kamesu Miccācara Veramani Sikkhapada Samadhiyami. Musavada Veramani Sikkhapada Samadhiyami. Suramiraya Majapamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, and very good morning, one and all. We did like a short introduction check-in for some people. Not sure about Mei and Lian. Are you present? Okay.
班弟，我在听，但是因为我在煮着便当。
哦，
我有在听，我一面
Okay.
做一面听课。OK，Thank you，Thank you。
Okay. All right. Okay, so for those who are here, we maybe have a short this warm up again. Every morning, it's good to start off with a positive and pleasant start. So it's good to start off with this loving kindness and this metta and the four sublime states, and this will carry out throughout the rest of the day. Yeah. Okay, so yesterday we did the visualization kind, where we think of the the body and sort of visualize the body parts. So some people say, okay, straight away visualize too distracting, so we do the other way around. So we straight away use the sense of feel, right? Because the body, what we feel is the four elements: earth, fire, wind, water. And the hard and soft sensations is called the earth element, right? And the hot and cold sensations is classified as fire element. Any movement, fast and slow movements, is considered wind element. And moist or dry is the water element. So we can now start to feel the entire body. Yeah? No need to visualize. Yeah? In the Buddha's time, or rather, the complete set of Asubha practice is the 32 parts of the body, includes the internal organs. Maybe some people haven't seen the internal organs before. Maybe some people are vegetarian, so they no chance to see internal organs. And unless you're a medical practitioner, you can see lots of X-rays or autopsies or surgeries. You have a rough idea. If not, what's my brain like? I have no idea. Yeah. Okay, so we don't visualize it yet. Feel the elements from head to toe. Starting from the head area. Whatever sensation you feel in the head area from the skull, and slowly feel, right? And you can just wish it well and happy. So the whole idea is not to purposely create the sensation. Yeah? Whatever elements they appear, let it occur naturally. We don't control the elements. It's not like some airbender or something. Yeah? We don't create or control those forces. And we don't cling on to them. Whatever you experience, those sensations all come and go, all passerby. And don't reject them. So we let loving kindness be the middle ground, the anchor, and we keep traveling along the middle way. And once you have done the head area, then we can move on to the neck and shoulder area. And we wish all the sensations well and happy. For those who are just joined in, we are now feeling the body, feeling the neck area, wishing all the neck sensations well and happy. And we can slowly move on to the arms, left and right arms. And whatever sensation you feel in the left and right arms, we wish them well and happy. And you can start to feel the torso region, your chest and your abdomen. Whatever sensation arises, we wish it well and happy. Okay, and you can even include the organs inside, start to feel chest cavity, rib cage inside, all the sensations well and happy. And you can start to feel the back area, your spinal cord, your shoulder blades, the rest of the back, all the way to the tailbone. All the sensations, may they be well and happy. Then you can start to feel the hip region, pelvis area, your hip all the way down, rest of the feet and contact. And you're going to wish all the sensations well and happy. Then we can suffuse the entire body and whole body with this loving kindness. And then we are going to expand this area slowly up to wish all beings at home be well and happy. Then we're going to wish all beings in the surrounding neighborhood be well and happy. Then we can wish all beings in the entire country be well and happy. And we wish all the surrounding countries be well and happy, and whole ASEAN region. And we can extend to the whole world, whole earth be well and happy. And we can wish all beings in the entire universe be well and happy. So as the mind expands sort of to a bigger area, and the same thing, we start to observe, right, the various sensations, elements of the whole universe rising and passing away, right? All beings go through birth, aging, sickness, and passing away. And we can arise this compassion. May they be free from suffering. So the act of contemplating this birth and death, the act of compassion. So in Buddhism, we talk about the three universal characteristics: impermanence, suffering, and this non-self. Keep observing this arising and passing, or this birth and death, then we can actually see this dissatisfaction or this suffering. Sometimes when conditions are right, when there's the Dhamma joy, the mind automatically rejoices. When there's detachment, there's a reduction of desire, and the mind will trigger this joy by itself. Whatever happens, always be mindful of this impermanence. And while doing so, have this goodwill. It's not a forceful kind of impermanence, but out of kindness. And over time, if you observe impermanence long enough or contemplate impermanence long enough and there's enough detachment, then this joy or happiness will dissipate as though no longer there. So don't worry, that's the right thing. Then the mind will develop this thing called equanimity. There's no happiness, no joy, but kind of neutral and uplifting kind of emotion. It's not the ordinary bland and nothing kind of emotion. There must be something uplifting. And no matter how peaceful you think your mind is, always continue to contemplate on impermanence. Part of Eightfold Path, right thought. There's no such thing called no thought in the Eightfold Path. So with one sublime state, you actually cultivate all four sublime states. It's actually a package. So for those who are, let's say, drowsy, maybe you can increase the thought of impermanence, investigate the sensations, how it arises, how it passes away, where does it come from. And now we can start with the second sublime state, which is compassion, the ground-up approach. Earlier on we did is loving kindness, so now we do compassion. So we are going to wish may all beings be free from suffering. In this expanded state of mind, whatever sensation you feel that arises and passes away, right? May they be free from suffering. So there's no need to dramatize and think of any stories or scenarios. Certain person is so sick or so poor. No need to think of all those stories. So there is a kind of compassion that leads to clinging and attachment. So that is usually the story part. So now you're just recharging the mind and conserving this energy first. We just observe the moment to moment, here and now, sufferings. And then we can start to think of the third sublime state. Is this appreciative joy. So we rejoice in the accomplishments of all sentient beings. For meditation, we are observing all the arising dharmas, and we are rejoicing and appreciating the moment-to-moment awareness. Why do we exist? And because of this moment-to-moment awareness. And then we can move on to the fourth sublime state, which is equanimity, and we can contemplate on karmas. All sentient beings are the owners and heirs to their karma. Whatever good and bad that we do, we shall be the recipient. So we just observe the moment-to-moment karmas, and the here and now present karmas, all arising and passing sensations. These are karmas. Anything pleasant, that is ripening of good karmas. Anything unpleasant is the ripening of bad karmas. And now we don't need to deliberately expand the mind, and we can now let the mind be the freestyle mode. There's no exertion, no pushing, no directing, no restricting. Let the mind sort of wander freely, but you need to know where is your attention every moment, how it arises, how it passes away. So the four sublime attitudes towards this phenomenon still remain. Right? We don't have any violence towards the mind, no exertion, no pushing. Have kindness to all the phenomenon, and we have compassion. Right? We have compassion towards all this birth and death phenomenon. And then we, from compassion, we detach. Some people observe birth and death, they get attached, get very upset, get very depressed, but we have compassion to detach. And the sign that if you're going on the right track is that you will initially experience some joy followed by peace or equanimity. And this is like the sign that you're on the right track. If any point of time you feel tension or stress or anxiety, then something is wrong. Yeah? You need to troubleshoot yourself and relook at your right thoughts. Thoughts of non-greed, thoughts of non-hatred. So when we leave our mind freestyle, there's two options. Option one is the unskillful thinking, means you cling on to the sense object. And the option 2 is skillful thinking. That is, we always remind ourselves of impermanence and this movement of attention, changing all the time, arising, passing, and creates detachment. Either you do it right or you do it wrong. And later on throughout the day, and you can challenge yourself to see how far can your mind settle. The more we detach, the more peaceful the mind can get. So there's a different degree or different depth. Peace. So you can challenge yourself to your own high score, see how peaceful you can get. And now it's like 10:05, and we leave some time for questions. If you have any problems in this session, you may raise those questions. Yeah, we have someone that just joined in halfway. Satipatthana, are you present? No response. Okay, how about Yvonne? Yvonne, so no response. Okay. Oh, okay. Yes.
This is the first time I'm doing this 4 sublime states while meditating.
Okay.
So how do you arouse the mind to have these states from one state to another state in another state, which I find it a bit difficult to do it.
Okay. Yeah, okay. No problem. So if let's say you want to talk about 4-in-1, yesterday we did separately. Loving kindness 1, then compassion, samatha first, followed by vipassana. So today we are doing, let's say, loving kindness. We just wish all the formations well and happy. And by doing so, we observe the impermanence at the same time without pushing. Goodwill or loving kindness means being friendly in your process, in the process of, or rather in execution of practice. So while doing so, then when there's detachment, or rather when there's intentional detachment, you keep on observing impermanence, there's actually an act of compassion. An act of compassion. Yeah, people normally think compassion means act compassion, you need to do something. When you see somebody in trouble, you help, right? So there's the more gross kind of compassion. So we start off with something more micro, something from within. Yeah, so every moment when there's something arising and passing away, then you practice letting go. So keep observing this arising, passing, arising. So this is actually an act of compassion, right? So when there is detachment, and you detach correctly, then this Dhamma joy should arise. So that's an automatic kind of rejoicing. And if you continue with this impermanence, then eventually the mind will reach equanimity. That's the 4 sublime states. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
No problem. So, but if you want to put it into more technical terms, right, then like we mentioned before, it would be like they call this 7 factors of enlightenment. 7 factors of enlightenment. So it's actually like a chain reaction. So the first one is mindfulness. Second factor is investigation of the Dhamma. That means you investigate impermanence. And the third factor is energy. That means you need to be consistent. You need to keep on putting effort. It's not like I reflect for 1 second impermanence, then you stop already. Right? So you need to keep going. It's like if a person wants to start a fire, and like in a barbecue, they need to keep fanning, right? They need to put in the charcoal, keep fanning. So it's a consistent effort. So once the conditions are right, then the fire will start. So the fire is something like the joy, yeah? Joy will arise. That means you've done everything correctly, then there's this Dhamma joy, and followed by tranquility, then followed by this samadhi and equanimity. Yeah? So, but once you stop, so in any of the process, at any time you stop fanning, then the fire will go off. You need to restart again. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. Any the questions or problems, issues? Healing your, okay.
Yes. Sorry.
Healing, you go first. Yeah.
I want to ask about the contemplation or contemplating of impermanence.
Okay.
The strongest sensation is obviously at the bottom part of the body. That is the pressure point of the pressure point of your sitting against the hardness of the ground or the cushion.
All right.
And that is the earth element. And okay. And I was enduring the pain. So how does it relate to impermanence? Instead of reacting towards the unpleasantness of the pain, I consider myself as a spectator. I do not personalize the pain belonging to me. I just observe how the pain shift form from tightness, and how it shift form to like the stinging feeling. It's as if that your ankle or your thigh is being stabbed, being sliced, and then from stinging shift to numbness. Numbness is as if that the blood from your flesh is being drained out. So that is the numbness you feel, and then slowly it dissipated. So is this how you contemplate the impermanence that is going on within your body?
Yeah, that can be one way, but the rate can be a bit too slow. So depending on how fast you observe the change of elements. Right, so yesterday we talked about the in and out breath. So that is like the minimum rate of impermanence. So if you, let's say, need to wait for 5 minutes to observe to one pain, to one numbness, then it's a bit too slow, yeah? But if you, it's more like every second kind of change of sensation, then at least there's some hope for detachment.
Yes. And another aspect of contemplating the impermanence is the visualization. I picture a sprouting seedling from the soil, and then how it grows into a majestic tree, like the redwood, like a tree or a flower, and then I would picture the leaves from the branch shriveled, withered, and fall to the ground, and the tree itself shriveled and fall to the ground and rot on the soil, and it becomes a compost on the ground. And then I will verbalize mentally in Pali, Sabbe Dhamma Anicca, Sabbe Dhamma Anicca. All Dhamma, all phenomenons are impermanent. So can I do that? Or
yeah, yesterday you mentioned a problem doing this for your hair, your nails, your teeth, and your skin. But yeah, that's the idea. That's the idea. Yeah, any phenomenon, right? Even visualization is a reflection for impermanence.
I see. Okay, nothing else. Thank you,
Okay,
Bhante.
all right. Okay, how about anyone else? Any issues? Yes, Lei Xuan, you were asking something earlier.
So, Bhante, I was trying to figure out, at every mental state, we just have to look at the impermanent nature of whatever phenomena that is, that you say the false supplying state. We look at the impermanent nature of all those mental states, is it?
As well, yes, that too, yeah. Anything obvious that your mind can perceive. So if your mind cannot perceive something subtle, then at least something gross, like maybe the 4 elements. But if you can perceive the feelings or the emotion, that also works. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Okay, no problem. Okay, anyone else? Oh, no problem. Smooth sailing meditation. All very good this morning. Yeah, good start. Okay, so if Angie, you have something?
I was going to ask regarding the open awareness.
Okay.
You said do not direct the mind, so let it be. But when we let our mind be, the mind is not alert to note
okay.
phenomena happening.
Okay.
So I actually got to stay alert and say, oh, listen to the clock, or feel the echo. So in a way, I'm directing it.
Yeah, correct.
So is that the way? Because you're saying do not direct it, let the mind be, relax and let the mind be. But when I let the mind be, I feel I cannot note stuff, I catch the stuff, the feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. So this one requires a certain level of sharpness. If you cannot catch the mind, then in your personal time, then don't do it. But it's good to train, because this is the most natural state, most natural kind of occurrence, the most natural kind of phenomenon. Yeah, because if we direct, then it's a bit not natural. But if we truly let go, let the mind run around freestyle, and that is the true nature of the mind, and the true workings of the mind. Then you just observe how it rise and pass away by itself.
So still do not direct it. Let the mind run around naturally.
Yeah.
And yet try to observe.
Yeah, be like a GPS. Just know every moment where's your attention. That's all.
Okay, I'll try that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Any final question? Yes, Yilin.
One more, Bante.
Okay.
Talking about extending compassion towards the impermanence of things. Last night I complained to you about how I judge myself, how I reprimand myself for being so careless, for letting the mind be idle or stagnant, that I'm not alert enough, that I'm not being serious with my meditation, that I'm allowing the mind to overthink. So I instead of being stuck in that mindset that I'm so worthless, I told you last night about the analogy of the because last night my mind was very tense. When the mind is so tense, it's as if that my mind is so heavy like the iron. So I told you last night the tip you have given me, like releasing the mind like a balloon, like a helium balloon, let it float upwards. So from my heavy mind, I transform with an inverted comma the mind from a heavy iron, transform it to a light helium balloon. So what did I do instead of being engulfed in that drama going on in my mind, that I'm so useless, I couldn't coordinate myself with your instruction, that I wander off so carelessly, because it is the nature of the mind to think. Why am I controlling? Why I'm trying to controlling? So if I just let it be. Is that one way of showing giving compassion to myself, that I
you need to
yes.
apply more metta, more loving kindness. So this way you are not too coercive. Do not coerce the mind. And that means throughout the day you just instill this reprogramming. You create this new philosophy, instill this new philosophy of this loving kindness, and to be more gentle. Don't force or push too hard.
Okay, understood. Thank you, Bante.
No problem. Okay, Jianing and Ming Hui, we actually are about to end the session. 10:15 is the break time. The online session is like 9 to this 10:15. Then the next one is 1:15, right? Is it, Terence? 1:15
Yes,
to what time again? To 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock.
Yeah, to 4 o'clock. Yeah. Then evening there's another online session, 7:45 to 10. Yeah. So that's the 3 online sessions for today. So we just had our morning, this 4 sublime states meditation, and yes, somebody raised a question, raised a hand. Any question? Yeah.
本地问一下，你昨天有提起说那个华语的课啊，你教是你本身教的是吗？
对。
然后你的禅修课在华语那边也是这样的 guidance 呐？
对，是我给指示咯。
一下，我的这个OK 什么？
我给那个指示咯，那你们就跟着打坐咯。
一样，好像这样的啊。
对，可是我用华语
啦。你是每个星期吗？
星期六，对，每个星期六。
是几点呢？
晚上8点。
晚上8点。
对。
好。因为我觉得你的方式会比较 我觉得我可以适应了。我比较喜欢这样，因为你会一直从怎样讲，从1到6啊，你会这样一直带，没有这样乱了，会有比较程序。可能我是那种依着程序的人呢，所以就这样比较好。好，谢谢你
好，星期六又见了。
好，我等下。现在这个刚才 Brother Terence 发的那个 link 就是你的那个禅修课吗？还是什么？在这边里面
那个 link 啊，等一下我看一下。
那个是什么
？Aaron, what is this link about?
You can the Bante. This link is in your Facebook.
Okay, yeah.
Register their name and email and choose which session they like to.
Yeah. 这个是报名的啦，报名你要
就是星期
参加
6那个吗？
对，可是我已经加你在那个 group 里面了，你不用去填这个表格咯。
好，你已经把那个 message send 进我的 messenger 是吗？
对。
好，等下我再去开。
OK，
好，感恩啊，Bante。
OK， 没问题。
Bante, I'm also interested in the English version Dharma sharing with Bante.
Okay.
How do I get in?
Okay, so if you have Facebook, let me know, or Google. Like in the form it's mentioned, the Monday sessions will be using Google, and Tuesdays will be on Zoom. Then the Facebook one is on Fridays.
Oh, okay. So I can get all this info in the Facebook.
Yeah, in this link. Yeah, the Terence just posted a very long link. You can click on it, then there's a Google form, then you can fill up.
Yeah. What is the link? I don't see the link, Bante. I'm sorry.
It's in the chat.
Today's chat?
Yeah, correct. This Zoom chat.
I'm sorry, Bante. I don't see it.
Okay, maybe you join. Maybe you join later. Yeah, so
I don't see it as well. It's not in the chat.
Okay, so I can.
It's not in the chat.
Now it's in the chat. He just posted again.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Bante.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. Yeah, so thank you, Terence, for the shorter version. Okay. As long as they can click. Yeah. So this is the form. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So it's meant for my easy administration purpose. Okay.
Bante,
so.
Bante, do you want to explain each session what is happening?
Okay, so
what is expected on Monday and Tuesday?
Okay, so only on Tuesdays, then we have this theoretical sharing for half an hour on Zoom by MSBS, and followed by some guided meditation. The Mondays and Friday session is English, but Mondays is on Google. For those who do not have Facebook, then they go to this Google. And for those who are using Facebook, then they can go to the Friday sessions. And for Chinese sessions, then you'll be on Saturday. So it'll be just fully guided sitting, no theory sharing. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, the sitting period is?
Sitting is 8 to 9:30.
1.5 hours per session.
Sometimes shorter, depending on the crowd. Yeah. Okay. So that's it.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. Any other questions or comments, announcements? Okay, if not, then we can go for a break, right? Maybe you can go for your rest, lunch, whatever.
I think somebody, Dhammapiya, asked a question in the chat.
Oh, okay. Well, the Dhamma talk this afternoon going to be on Facebook Live like yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
Only the Dhamma talk.
Okay. Yeah, and the Mondays Google Meet, you need to register. I need to add you to this Google Hangout group. Yeah, there's like a Google group chat. So like on the day, then we will send the link.
Sorry, Bante. What is the difference between the Monday and the Tuesday session?
Okay, the Monday.
Apart from being different platforms.
Yeah, the Tuesday session, there is theoretical sharing, like we did a PowerPoint slide presentation and some Dhamma sharing. So that's the Tuesdays one. Whereas the rest of the days are all fully guided sitting, no theory. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? If not, then we go for a break and see you all in 1:15, yeah? Okay.
Thank you, Bante.
See you all.
Thank you, Bante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
No problem.
Thank you, Bante.
Okay.